Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. Cuba has confirmed the deaths of 33 people from mosquito-borne illnesses in recent months, in an epidemic that has hit at least one-third of the population, according to official reports. The Deputy Minister of Health, Carilda Peña, said 12 people have died of dengue and 21 of chikungunya, the two viruses circulating widely across the Caribbean island nation. At least 21 of those who died were under the age of 18, Peña said. The minister did not specify a date range for the deaths. The deaths and still ranging epidemic are more bad news for Cuba, whose healthcare system is already facing existential struggles due to a grueling economic crisis that has prompted widespread shortages of food, fuel, and medicine. Dengue fever has long plagued Cuba, but has grown worse as a shortage of funds and fuel hampers the government's ability to fumigate, clean roadsides, trash, and patch leaky pipes. Chikungunya, once rare on the island, has also spread quickly in recent months. There is no specific treatment for chikungunya, which is spread primarily by the Aedes mosquito species, also a carrier of dengue and Zika. Chikungunya causes severe headache, rashes, and joint pain that can linger months after infection, causing long-term disability, though it is rarely fatal. Organized crime in the Caribbean is being fueled by arms trafficking that can be traced largely to a handful of areas in the U.S. states of Florida and Georgia. A study by Geneva-based Small Arms Survey has found U.S. President Donald Trump's administration has ramped up efforts against drug cartels, from classifying gangs as terrorist organizations to bombing alleged drug trafficking boats off the coast of Venezuela. The Small Arms Survey, an independent research project whose findings are used by international governments and United Nations bodies, found that between 2015 and 2024, 7 in 10 firearms that could be traced from 6 Caribbean nations came from Florida and Georgia. Its analysis spanned the Bahamas, Barbados, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. Some 30% of all firearms seized in those countries and successfully traced to the U.S. were bought from dealers in Miami-Dade and Broward. The report also looked at seizures by U.S. customs officials, finding that 78% of the Caribbean-bound illegal arms shipments were detected in ports around Florida cities of Tampa and Miami and Atlantic Georgia. U.S. President Donald Trump and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva discussed the trade, economy, and fighting organized crime in a phone call on Tuesday, both sides said. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Trump said the two men also discussed sanctions, an apparent reference to his administration's targeting of Brazil's judiciary over the criminal case of right-wing former President Jair Bolsonaro. Trump said he and Lula had a great talk. Brazil's presidential palace said in a statement that Lula thanked Trump for his decision to remove additional tariffs on U.S. imports of Brazilian goods, including coffee and beef, and added that Brazil seeks to progress on talks about products still affected by the levies. Trump last month removed the 40% tariffs on several Brazilian food products, which also included cocoa and fruits, that he had announced in July to punish Brazil over the prosecution of former President Bolsonaro, a Trump ally. During the 40-minute call on Tuesday, which the Brazilian presidential palace called very productive, Lula also stressed the urgency of strengthening cooperation with the United States to fight international organized crime, according to its statement. Lula and Trump agreed to speak again soon, the statement said. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana.